Here we're looking at the collapsed adit for the Del Rio mine. It's EC0150. We're looking almost straight south. It might be just a little southwest for the trend of the collapsed adit. Right outside is some kind of a blower piece of scrap metal. There's quite a lot of scrap metal in this area here. We'll turn around and get a little better look. Just to give you an idea of up close to the portal, there's a nice little seep coming out there. It's, a couple gallons a minute, maybe 2 to 3 gallons a minute, not very much. I got a sample of it. There's a bit of iron staining going on. Out on the dump there's more iron staining, and it may be due to all the tin and metal that's laying around out here. We'll get a little better look at that when we turn around, and we'll do that right now. Here we're looking back to the north from the portal of the Del Rio mine. Again, there's a blower. You can see quite a bit of tin that's laying around out here on the dump. And here's the seep comes out, and it pawns up quite a bit on the dump itself, and goes off to the side of it, kind of the southwest side, and just goes away from the dump itself. The trend of the dump is kind of right into those trees. We'll get out on the end and take a look at that, just to give you an idea of what it does. It kind of opens up out towards the northeast end, and it's a little bit easier to see what's going on. So this just gives you an idea of what's just right outside the portal, right on there. A lot of scrap metal and a bit of machinery type stuff. Here we're about 50 feet northeast of the portal, looking out to the northeast onto the dump. You can see that kind of perceive several lobes to the dump as it goes out. They went in various different directions there. The dump's about 100 plus feet long and about 30 feet wide, maybe 20 feet. It kind of varies with those lobes, but it's not a huge dump, and maybe as much as 20 feet thick. But we'll get out on the northeast end and kind of look at, see what the end of the dump looks like. Here we're off to the end of the dump, the northeast end. We're looking at one of the lobes. I'm standing on another lobe, and we're kind of looking at to the northwest at one of the lobes of it. It's quite coarse material, and a bit of quartz vein material mixed in with it. So we'll go on to the other side, to the northwest side of this, and take a look on the dump down there. Here we're on the northwest side of the dump, about 40 or 50 feet back from the portal, and you can see the top of the dump is pretty hummocky. Again, there's the other side of that lobe we looked at going down the slope. It's quite coarse grain material. Right down below us, we'll look kind of down the dump itself. It goes quite a ways down the hill. It is quite steep. And what we're looking at down below, kind of to the north and northeast of the portal of the Del Rio, is a mill building. We're just getting a perspective from up here. We'll go down onto the mill and take a look at it a lot closer and deal with it as a separate entity, and look for tailings and what have you. It's fairly close to Jumbo Creek down there. You can hear that in the background. But again, it appears to be a stamp mill, and completely collapsed, unlike the Jumbo mill, which was partially standing. There's virtually nothing standing in this one. It's all strewn out going down the slope, kind of in a northeast-southwest direction. So we'll go down and look at the Del Rio dump mill next. One more comment while I'm on the dump of the Del Rio. We're looking north across Jumbo Creek, And we're looking at the jumbo mine. The adit number 1 is up here. You can see the dump for it, and you see that log structure moving down the hill. There's adit 2, and across the slope is adit 3. Then down in the trees is adit 4. It's right by above the mill for the jumbo mine. Kind of hard to see through the trees, but I believe that is the dump for adit 4. So anyway, just give you a perspective of where we are. We're looking north across Jumbo Canyon, the upper end of Jumbo Canyon, at the 3 or 4 adits for the jumbo mine. We can't see the jumbo mill, but we can see the main adits, or the dumps for the adits. So this will be it for the Del Rio mine. We'll go down to the Del Rio mill now. Here we're down at the base of the Del Rio mill, where the mine dump for the Del Rio is right up just above there. It kind of comes right down into the southwest end of the mill building. It's totally collapsed. We are looking southwest now. You can see that it was probably a stamp mill again, just like the jumbo. You can see the wheels in there. Everything is pretty well collapsed down. You can't really see that much. It just makes a swath up through the brush here. The only place there isn't really any brush is where the collapsed mill is. There's a old boiler here. A lot of scrap wood and such. It is again totally collapsed. There's one area, small little area of tailings that are up right where they come out of the crushers of the mill. I sampled that. I couldn't really identify a location at the northeast end, out where the discharge would be out of the mill itself. It's really overgrown, and I couldn't really identify them, so I took a sample within the mill itself, and thinking that might suffice as a dump or a mill tailings sample. We'll move on looking to the west now. There's a fairly large area here of scrap metal, and where it must have been a fairly large building or several buildings, as it's all covered with tin. We'll get back up there and look back towards the mill itself to the east. We're looking west right now. We'll get back and look to the east at what that area looks like now. Here we're looking east now at this large area towards the lower northeast end of the Del Rio mill. You can see an awful lot of scrap metal, tin roofing material and such laying all over the ground here, boards all over, nails, and miscellaneous scrap iron over a fairly large area here. It's about 150 feet long by 40 or 50 feet wide. It kind of varies, but just to give you an idea of what this area looks like, it's looks to be one or several buildings that have collapsed in this area. We're looking basically at where the Del Rio mill is, mill, kind of up in this area here. That's the mill. Back in the trees, there's a little bit of a line of trees between this area and the mill. It just comes right down to the northeast end of the mill itself. So this will be it for the Del Rio mill. This site number will be E179908.